You expanded to Google, your ROAS looked fine, but your revenue never actually moved. Here's why. Most stores that go to Google never build an acquisition channel. They build a defense mechanism. They pay Google to show up for their own brand name, retarget people Meta already warmed up, and read that 8x ROAS as proof that it's actually working. It isn't. That's not new customers. That's a tax on the demand that you already generated and paid for on Meta, and I call it the branded defense tax. And almost every Meta reliant store drifts into it because nobody decides to build a brand defense mechanism. It's just what an account becomes when nothing separates the people actively searching your brand name from the cold buyers who've never heard of you. So if you've already run Google and it didn't work, then this is the diagnosis. And if you haven't touched Google yet, this is the default your account slides into unless you build against it from day one. Either way, the fix is the same structure, and it's 5 campaigns. I've worked with over 100 e-commerce brands and driven north of $150 million in sales. And I've done this specific move, Meta-reliant stores to Google Ads as a real acquisition channel, dozens of times. And the same 5 campaign skeleton starts almost every single one. No advanced funnels, no PMax wizardry, just 5 campaigns that set up right can add 75 to 100 grand a month in revenue alone. Here's the map. Number 1, branded search, cheap, defends your name. 2 and 3 are shopping campaigns, 1 branded and 1 non-branded. 4, a very specific type of performance max campaign. And 5, a search campaign built from proven data. Now you'll notice that branded shows up twice, 1 in search and 1 in shopping. And that's deliberate. It's the whole game, because the real magic isn't in any single campaign. It's in how campaigns 2 and 3 talk to each other with one mechanism that quarantines every branded query and forces your budget outward to the cold demand you actually came here for. That's the piece nobody teaches, and it's where we're going today. But we build cheap and defensive first. So campaign number 1, branded search. And this is where I disagree with almost all of the advice out there. Everyone tells you hand Google the wheel, maximize conversions, let the AI run it, it's smart enough. But on your branded campaigns, do not do this. I run brand campaigns on manual CPC. The reason is simple. On your own brand name, you're not discovering anything. These people already know you and they're halfway to buying. So you don't need Google's algorithm chasing volume here, because the moment you let it, maximize conversions does exactly what it was meant to do. It finds reasons to spend more and more of your budget on traffic that was already going to convert. Manual CPC, on the other hand, keeps the spend low and the CPCs low, and you can nudge bids upwards over time only if you're being outbid. And it's so easy to find that information out. Once your campaign is live, go to auction insights. Look at your search impression share. Say you're only serving 80% of the time. That means 1 in every 5 times that somebody searches for your brand name, you're nowhere to be seen. And that's a problem. So then you go and look at your competitors in that same tab, their impression share, their overlap rate, if they're parked on your branded terms. That's when you nudge your manual CPC up a small bit and defend that bit harder. But if nobody's bidding on your brand, you can sit at rock bottom bids and still win the click. So keep it cheap, control it, defend your name, and no more. Because defending your name is step 1 of this 5-step build, and the actual money leak isn't here. It's in how your 2 shopping campaigns fight over branded and cold queries. And we're jumping into our 2 shopping campaigns now. And here's where the standard advice actively builds upon the tax I mentioned at the top of this video. Everyone teaches you to split your shopping campaigns by product type. Top sellers in one campaign, everything else in another. And that's certainly fine for organizing products, but it does absolutely nothing for separating branded versus cold queries. Nothing routes them. So your top sellers campaign happily eats the searches for your own brand name at premium CPCs, and you never notice because the ROAS looks great. And that's the drift. That's how a clean account becomes a defense mechanism without anybody noticing it. My split isn't by product type, it's by query. 2 campaigns with the same products in both. One is non-branded, set to high priority, and the other is branded, set to low priority. In Google, the high priorities campaign gets first refusal on every query. So your non-branded campaign grabs everything by default, cold and branded alike. And then you hand that non-branded campaign one thing: a branded negative keyword list. Your brand name, the common misspellings, your product name variants. And that list blocks branded queries from this high priority non-branded shopping campaign. So those queries fall through like water over a ledge into the low priority branded shopping campaign sitting underneath. And this is called the waterfall. Cold queries stay in the top campaign that you want to keep spending. Branded searches drop down into the cheap defensive bucket where they belong. Your budget stops leaking backwards into demand you already own and gets forced outward onto strangers. But there's one warning before you touch anything. The priority settings are the whole mechanism, but so is the fact that both campaigns carry the exact same products, the exact same targeting, and the exact same locations. Change the priorities, split the products, narrow one campaign's location, and you've broken that routing without realizing it. The water stops falling and both campaigns fight over branded queries once again. So build it once, build it right, then leave it alone. And keep that negative branded keyword list handy because you're going to need it in the next step. But none of this routing means anything if Google can't match your products to a cold query in the first place. And right now, it probably can't because of something you pasted into your product feed and never touched. You see, Google matches your shopping ads to searches largely based on your product title, and most brands never touch it. You install the sales channel, Shopify pipes your title straight into Google Merchant Center, and you run cold traffic on a title. That's the mistake. A Shopify title usually reads brand first, something like Carter and Hyde, the Weekender. And that's perfect for somebody who already knows Carter and Hyde, but it's useless to a stranger because nobody cold is typing your brand name. They're typing what the thing is. So you flip it. And the formula is this: product category first, then your attributes and differentiators, then more attributes, and then your brand at the end, only if there's room. So Carter and Hyde, the Weekender, becomes leather weekend bag, full grain, water resistant, cabin size, 40 liters, Carter and Hyde. Same product, but now every single one of those terms is a door that cold traffic can walk through. Leather weekend bag, full grain bag, cabin size. You've gone from matching one branded search to dozens of cold searches. Do it across your entire product catalog and your non-branded high priority shopping campaign finally has something to grab hold of. And now you're pulling in genuine cold demand. And some of those people will buy on the spot, but a lot of them won't. They'll bounce. And the next campaign exists to catch those very people, but only if you cap it hard. Because get it wrong and it quietly turns back into that tax once again. And campaign 4 is our PMAX campaign. And this is the one everyone gets wrong. The standard advice is get some conversions, then graduate to Performance Max as your main acquisition vehicle. But starting with PMax or leaning on it as your hero is honestly the fastest way to fail on Google. It'll spend your budget wherever it finds the cheapest conversions, which is almost always warm and branded traffic. It'll show you a lovely ROAS and quietly rebuild the exact brand defense mechanism you just dismantled. So I demote it. PMax goes in as a remarketing touch point and nothing more. Low budget. Populate all of the assets and it will remarket across YouTube, Discover, Gmail, shopping, all of these extra surfaces to catch someone who's already seen you. Then you set a deliberately high target ROAS. I'm talking 600 to 800%. Not the 250 or 300% you might be running in your prospecting campaign. And in this way, it only fires on the warmest traffic and won't be able to wander off spending on cold. Then you layer your audiences on top. Website visitors and cart abandoners. People who've already been to your site. And here's that callback. Apply that same branded negative keyword list here too. Because if you don't, PMax will do what PMax does. Hoover up your branded searches and you're right back paying for demand you already own. Be honest with yourself about this campaign though. It will not be very incremental. And that's fine. It's a touch point not a big growth lever, but it's still really important. And this moves us on to our very last campaign, which is built entirely on proof, not guesswork. And this campaign is our search campaign. And most people who start Google Ads sit down and try to figure out what their best performing keywords will be. They brainstorm what they think people type, load up a list, and hope. Don't do that, because by now you've already got the answer sitting in your account. Go into your non-branded shopping campaign, the high priority one doing your prospecting, and pull the search term report. That is a live feed of the actual words cold buyers use to find and buy your products. Look for the terms that convert consistently, not once, but again and again, and those are proven. And then you build a search campaign targeting those very keywords. You're taking what's already working and pressing on it harder, and that's the 5 campaigns. Branded search, your 2 waterfall shopping campaigns, a capped remarketing PMAX, and a search campaign fed by proof. This is the base that can add 75 to 100 grand a month, and once it's humming, then you can start thinking about segmenting prospecting shopping campaigns, layering on YouTube and demand gen, more top of funnel, but not before. Master this first. And if you'd rather I just look at your account and tell you exactly where your structure is losing you money, that's what I do for free. For e-commerce stores, I'm offering a free growth plan, not a sales call. I'll show you where the money's going and what I change. The link to book that call is in the description below. And once you've done that, go watch this next video where I break down in more detail exactly how you can turn Google Ads into your very own cold acquisition monster.